Good morning and thank you for tuning in. This is Walter Mythkite reporting for GNN, the Gillinor News Network. For those watching later on, this broadcast is airing on Saturday, October 11th. Due to there being nothing to update you guys on this week, our production team has been out gathering as much as they can regarding the upcoming release of sailing licenses by the Port Sarim Sailing Authority. As this production required Weave to hit the seas, he has fallen into a character that he cannot get out of. While many of you may cringe at Captain Weave, know that his family is suffering, and they are hoping he comes out of character soon. Meals at the dinner table have become particularly troublesome. With that disclaimer out of the way, here is Weave with everything we know about sailing.
Oh, ahoy there, landlubbers, or should I say landlubbers for now. Here in a couple months, if the Port Sarim Sailing Authority is on pace with their original estimations, you'll be able to get your own sailing licenses and be able to explore the great open blue. Now, I've met some friends across the seas of Gillinor that agreed to give us a treasure trove of information. The first of me new crew to share with us is me first mate, Floopa.
Thank you, Weave. I have enjoyed sailing with you since we first met when you saved me from that horrifying griffin. I have to tell your viewers about our island. The Great Conch is home to our people, the Tortugans. There is so much to do on this island. You can farm pillar coral that can be used in superfishing and hunter potions, which temporarily boost those skills by 6. Novice farmers can also grow elkhorn coral, which can be used to make anti-odor salt, which removes your scent from traps you place automatically, instead of having to smoke them with a torch. Or the elkhorn coral can be used to make a hemostatic dressing, which will stop you from bleeding, and even heal you a small bit if your application of the dressing removed bleeding. Sorry, little ones. Needlessly applying this Band-Aid does nothing. As for the more experienced farmers, umbral coral can be used to make the Armadale Brew, which heals you and increases your range level at the cost of reducing your other combat stats. If farming coral isn't your thing, but mixing potions is, the agile among you will be happy to hear that super energy potions can be upgraded to extreme energy potions with yellow tuna fin, and stamina potions can be upgraded to extended stamina potions with marlin scales. If you're curious about how to get those, I asked my friend Snapper to tell you guys about deep-sea trawling.
Hey there, mates. As Floopa said, I'm Snapper. Deep-sea fishing is really quite easy. All you gotta do is find a shoal, deploy your trolling net that you crafted from exotic materials like hemp, linen, and cotton, and then stay on top of those buggers. Deep-sea fish have fun effects when you consume them, like the bluefin tuna that restores 5 prayer points when you eat it, and that's on top of the 22 hit points it gives you. If the numbers are all you care about, Cameron or ousted is the best combo food since halibut can restore 20 HP per bite, while the new marlin will restore a whopping 24 health per bite as the new highest healing hard food. Crikey, if you don't have your sea legs, don't worry. You can find the new method of lantern fishing to be a neat way of harvesting squid that can be used to create the new blowpipes. For those that prefer game on land, crabs are ready to be trapped by hunters for herblore secondaries. Hey, Floopa, can you tell them about the other resources adventurers will need to make those blowpipes?
Sure, Snapper. Once you're lucky enough to find a squid beak in good condition, you'll need some new logs found on the islands out at sea. In order of how skilled of a forester you need to be to fell the tree, camphor, ironwood, and rosewood can be fletched into blowpipes that you'll attach to the squid beak. If you prefer industry over nature, there are new metals that smiths will have to be skilled enough to work with so that you can upgrade your sailing vessel. Lead, which you dwarven rock cake fans shouldn't try to eat, is one metal that will be new to all adventurers, but even novice adventurers should be able to harvest it. Nickel, which smiths will need to smelt with copper to make cupronickel, will require more experienced miners. Somewhere between those two, an intermediate miner can harvest rubium, which can be used to turn your cannonballs into incendiary cannonballs. Pretty exciting, huh?
Floopa, it do be exciting. I cannot wait to make those incendiary cannonballs. If me smithing instincts are anything to go by, I could attach some cannonballs by chain and get a bind effect out of them instead of the rubium's burn effect. Naval combat opens up a whole new realm of possibilities. While we weren't able to find any unique treasure out there, I imagine at some point in the future us soon-to-be sailors will find that we'll have some cannon upgrades past the dragon parts that we can get as treasure from bosses, or even ship parts like hulls, keels, and sails that are better than what we can make with our smithing and construction skills. Speaking of treasure, GNN's favorite pundit Chad has charted ahead a course that has had some unique creatures with unique loot for adventurers that he is hoping to share with us.
Bruh, I don't know how this happens where you're stuck with the captain character locked in. Maybe it's method acting gone too far, but for you, your family, and even GNN, bruh, I hope you can get back to normal, man. Anyways, you're right, dude. There is some serious booty out there to see, man. There's even some treasure, too. Anyways, before we get to killing stuff, my favorite pastime, let's talk about the free real estate, man. People are just leaving stuff out there free for the taking. There's a limitless supply of items that you'll find at stalls on the mainland on some of the stalls out at these new islands. Really, the stalls don't need to be restocked before you can steal from them again. That said, though, these stalls are patrolled more closely, so you'll need to be on the lookout. If you like to avoid the harsh working conditions of smelting cannonballs at the furnace, just steal them, brother. Cannonball stalls are another way for very experienced thieves to get their hands on cannonballs. Right. If stalls aren't your thing, pirate treasure chests of various tiers can be stolen from as well. Like, who needs to find treasure when you can steal it, am I right? Now, look, as awesome as larceny is, sometimes I get the urge for a little bit of slaying. You know what I mean? There are all sorts of challenges out here for those that like to cull some creatures. First up, these ugly water bears that are called Aqua Knights on the island of Yenisdale will require an intermediate sailor to make it there. But if you can slaughter enough of these lantern-faced freaks, you should be able to get the Aqua Knight tendon. Oh, wow. Look, animal parts are weird, I get it, but this thing can be used to make an Aqua Knight hopper, and that is an offhand that's just sick. It gives your crossbows a chance to shoot a second time for reduced accuracy and damage, but hey, maybe crossbows aren't your thing. If stabbing's more your speed, you'll want to head to the Great Conch and do the Tortugans a favor by slaying some griffins. Kill enough of those nerds, and you'll get the Horn of Plenty and enough griffin feathers to charge it. Now look, you know me, it's a skilling offhand for Hunter, and I don't do that kind of stuff. But I heard some nerd from the Hunter Guild talking about how it has a chance to double your catch rate. So like, that's neat, I guess. Anyways, the Griffin boss, the Shellbane Griffin, drops the Gleaming Rapier, which is a solid stab weapon, similar to the Zombiac. But like, maybe you don't care about adventuring on land at all once you get your sailing license. If that's the case, you're probably after the Dragon Metal sheets to upgrade your ship. For that, you'll either want to be an intermediate sailor in Slayer at around level 60 in both of those skills to kill some lava strike worms on the charred island. Or maybe you could be an incredibly advanced sailor to make it to the frost dragons on Grimstone. Since these are worms and dragons, you can also expect to get some special versions of worm and dragon bones that give some pretty decent experience in your prayer skill. Between selling those bones and dragon metal sheets, these monsters earn you some serious coin, bro. Was there anything else you wanted me to cover, Weave? Hello, bro, are you there?
Thank you, Chad. Unfortunately, folks, Weave is currently unavailable. We're experiencing some difficulties with him on his Comwarp connection. Now, we do have someone calling into the station that's able to take over for him. So, Travag, thank you so much for being able to come in and fill in this segment. Could you go ahead and tell us what you think about sailing?
Thank you, Walter. Sailing is much more than just a skill, cape, or a very adorable pet. I mean, look how cute he is. Oh my gosh, I like turtles so much. On top of this, it's a whole new method of movement to master. And of course, we can teleport everywhere instantly in Gielinor, but people don't sail because they're trying to get somewhere fast. They're sailing because they want to sail, and hopefully we'll all enjoy that soon. We'll also have tons of different ways of training our sailing, like salvaging shipwrecks from people who probably should have got their sailing level a little bit higher before trying out that new boat, or doing cargo runs across the seas, which of course is 100% above board and legal. all this isn't without some juicy rewards we'll be getting on the sea and through various islands we're going to discover. And speaking of islands, this isn't just a sailing update. This is a whole new area expansion with multiple types of oceans and islands to discover. And of course, they can always expand this in the future with something like, I don't know, maybe a raid eventually on one of these islands. But that's looking a little too far ahead, Walter. What I'm excited for is everybody being level 1 on day 1. That is going to be so much fun, seeing maxed mains and noob players all starting off at the same point. And that is just peak MMO. That's everything I have. And to my Princess Astrid back on Miscellanea, what a good wife you would be, such a fine girl. But my life, my love, and my lady is the sea. Back to you, Walter.
Wow, talk about insight. Travag, thank you so much for filling in for Weave as he's apparently gone missing. For those of you that are not subscribed to Travag, do yourself the favor of visiting his channel on the RoomTube Comorb app and subscribing to his show. If you don't, you are missing out on some valuable analysis. With Weave still missing, it seems we'll have to move on. This wraps up our broadcast this week, folks. Reporting for GNN, I am Walter Mythkite, signing off.